So hello friends, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to learn how to create a whole authentication system. That means whole sign up and login system using just PHP, where someone can send OTP. Means let me say that you want to register. Okay, then you have to confirm the OTP, then you can register. Otherwise, you cannot register. Same thing with login, but there is no OTP with login. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So let's get going. And one important thing that I want to tell you is that I am recording right now on Ubuntu, means Linux distro. Okay, so it's same on Windows, but just the difference is you have to get install XAMPP. Okay, differently. Means if you have installed XAMPP, then everything is same. If you have installed WAMP, then everything is same. And I have a tutorial for how to install a XAMPP in my YouTube. So I will leave the link in the description so you can check it out. So let's get into it. Okay, so right now I am in terminal and I have to create a folder using terminal. Okay, you can also use the normal folder creation. Okay, just create a folder inside the @docs. You know these things. Okay, if you have done some PHP and MySQL stuff, then you should know these things. Okay, if you don't know these things, then please go and learn about PHP and MySQL. Okay, basics of PHP and MySQL. I'm not saying about becoming a master of PHP and MySQL. So okay, so I will go to @docs ls and I have already created a folder auth. So I will open it in the code. So first I will go to auth. Okay, and code dot. Now it's going to be opened in my VS Code. Okay, so I hope you can see this. Now I will say yes, I trust the author. I will close this thing. I don't need it. Let me create a file, index.php, and yes, it is working. Okay, so right now this is working thanks to this solution on Stack Overflow. I will leave the link to the description. I will save right now. Okay, thank you for watching. Okay, so right now what I will do is PHP. We are going to test if everything is working fine or not. So let me just print hello PHP, and semicolon is must, because without the semicolon you will get the errors. Okay, okay, so right now you can see that hello PHP is printing here, so it's working. Let me check if MySQL is working or phpMyAdmin is working or not. Okay, okay, so there is some problem with the MySQL. Let me just copy it and let me paste it. Okay, let me restart it. Okay, if I restart the MySQL, then it should work. Okay, so okay, MySQL is not running. Now it's running. So let me just reload the page, and it's still not working. So check the status of MySQL in Linux. Okay, sudo system start mysql.service. This can work actually. Now let me just reload the page. No, it's still not working. So there are some issues. Okay, so phpMyAdmin will do this, and let me see. Connect to server at access deny for root @localhost. So let me copy it. So let me copy it and paste it to the new tab. So this is the solution that you should be working with. I have to copy this thing, and then I have to go to MySQL. I just have to type MySQL. Okay, and okay, so I have to type MySQL like this. I will paste it and it should work. Okay, so if I go to reload this page, still not working. That means there is some problem. All solutions I found. So let me see, sudo mysql select root, and okay, let me restart the XAMPP. How we are going to restart the XAMPP? So we can restart XAMPP like this. Okay, It's not running. Let me restart it again. Not running. Okay. So stopping, and this is not running. Why this is not running? Why XAMPP is not running? This is actually a problem. So MySQL, allow the MySQL start, then start. Let me stop everything first. Then I will start it. Okay. Again, I will start it again. Okay. So now I will reload the page and let me see if everything is running. Yes. Now everything is running. My PHP myadmin is set on up, so I can code. I can go and code. Okay. So this take a while, but I will link the. So I will give you all the solutions that you really need. Okay. So right now, what we are going to do is let me get a HTML and CSS for registration page. Okay, we are not going to write it from scratch. Our purpose is to make OTP system or authentication system that will work. Okay, we are not more focused on front end, we are most focused on back end. Okay, so I will go to new tab and I will write login and sign up form in CodePen. So CodePen is a code repository, or you can say it's something like GitHub. It's not purely GitHub, but it's kind of GitHub because you can share, you can make your code public and you can share with others. Okay, it's more kind of front end GitHub. Okay, it contains a lot of just styles. Okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, something like this. Okay, so what we will do is we will find some good design that will fit our need. So let me see. I think this is looking good. Let me open it. Okay, so let me convert this as CSS to CSS. Okay, as CSS to CSS converter. I will go here and I will paste here, and you can see everything is working. There is some problem, cannot continue string. Okay, so there is some problem. Okay, no problem. We'll look an other file because there are a lot of things actually. Okay, it's not one or two things. There are a lot of things that you can try. Let me look at this. Yeah, it's looking good. Let me copy this thing. We'll paste here. And now this is working. Okay, it should work. And if you want to see whether is it working or not, you have to go to settings and change it to none. Okay, and then close, and it will reload. You can see here. Okay, it's reloading and now it's just working. So we are going to use this. So I will copy this code and I will go to my index.php. Now you can always write HTML and CSS to your index.php or PHP files. Okay, so to say. So let me just, this is a boilerplate code that you are going to need, or you are going to get whenever you click. Let me remove it. Okay, and let me show you again. Whenever you click exclamation mark, then you hit enter. Okay, or you hit a tab, and you are going to see this. Okay, this is a boilerplate code. I will paste everything here. I will copy my CSS stuff and I will paste here on the style tag. Okay, we can do separation thing. I don't want to do it. Okay, so right now I'm going to install a plugin that will format my code. So that plugin is called as Prettier. Let me go and okay, so there is some problem. Prettier. Okay, so this is a plugin. You can see I will install it and you can see how many people have installed it, like 33 million. That is a lot actually. Okay, so I will close it and let me save it, or let me go to the settings and I will say format. So format on save. Okay, whenever someone saves, it should format. And I should also see default formatter. Who is a default formatter? I don't know it. So let me go. Okay, let me see. Let me write just Prettier. Okay, I will write Prettier. Okay, no problem. Let's just get going and just format this code by hand. Okay, because we really don't have the time, and I'm not an expert in VS Code settings and all the stuffs. Okay, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm not an expert with these things. Okay, so let me reload the page here so we can look how it's looking. Wow, it's really looking nice. Okay, to create a new account, there is a John Doe, which is we use John Doe. If you don't know about John Doe, that is a placeholder tags or placeholder imaginary programmer that we all the time use. Okay, this is a password, this is a password confirmation. It's great. Okay, now I want to add a few things. Actually, I will add a button. This is a create account button. I will also add a button adjacent to this input box. Okay, the email input box. The button name will be send OTP, and whenever someone clicks on that send OTP button, the OTP will be sent to whatever email ID you have written inside this email box. If it is not valid email ID, then we are going to generate some error. Okay, we are going to display here error. Okay, otherwise we will send the OTP. So let's get going. I will check for Control F, create a new account. There is, okay, it's actually create account. So I will copy it, then I will paste it besides email. Okay, so let me find email wherever the email is. Okay, so that is our email, and let me see how it's working. So it's working very well. Let me paste it here for just you can say for just evaluation. Let me see how it's working. Okay, so it's working all right, like not much big difference. But one more thing I want to do is this class. This is the input class, and I want to do its display flex. Okay, so I will add another display flex class here, dot display flex. So display, oh sorry, what was that? That was actually display flex. Actually it was that. Okay, there should be some suggestions. Actually there are no suggestions. HTML, CSS or something like that. It should give me some suggestions, but it's not giving me it. So I really don't know why it's not giving me suggestions. Okay, so let me close it, and also let me install the PHP version because I am really not using much Ubuntu. I have a dual boot system. Okay, so I am really not using Ubuntu much, but right now I'm using it because there is some problem with my Windows. Okay, so if I reload it, now you can see that everything is working. Okay, so there is still some problem actually with the design, and the design says that this should live inside a div. Oh sorry, this should live inside a div. So I will say div, and we are going to close this div here. Okay, let me just save it and reload the page. Okay, so it's looking okayish. Now what we are going to do is the one thing that we can do is going to be this should not live as same elements. We can inspect it. Let me do the inspect element. I will say this, and what we can do is flex items, or not flex items actually, but flex direction. Okay, there is a property called flex direction. We can do column. Okay, or you can also do column reverse, but what we are going to do is flex direction. Okay, because that is good actually. So flex direction, we are going to implement a class that is going to be flex direction column. So we are going to say flex call. Okay, and flex call, flex direction. So we are getting some suggestions. Let me take some suggestions and column. Okay, I think this is going to work. Okay, it's working actually. Now what I have to do is I have to make this whole thing a div. Okay, so I'm making a div. This is the div you can see, but I also have to implement the class for display flex. Okay, let me reload the page and you can see it is working. Okay, we can also give how much this element and how much this element should take the space, but let me try if there is some solutions for it. There is a property called gap, so if I use that, let me grab this thing first. So okay, if I use gap 10 pixel, not more, and you can see there is some gap between these two things. Okay, so we can use that thing. So but 10 pixel is kind of more. I will use 6 pixel. 6 pixel is okay. Okay, so let me write a new class gap small and we are going to define it here. Gap small and gap is going to be 6 pixel. Okay, so let me reload it and okay, it's okayish. Now one more thing I want to do is, this is two sections, so let me go to Mozilla Dev Docs. This is the best documentation out there for HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, for especially JavaScript. JavaScript is written so greatly in this documentation that you cannot believe it. Okay, so please use this documentation for any further references to JavaScript, HTML or CSS. Okay, so right now what we really need is flex properties. So let me write flex. There are going to be a lot of things. Okay, like I really want it to okay, I think we can do one solution that we can give its width to 70%, because the percentage, whatever you give in the percentage, it's going to take from the parent element, and the parent element here is the flex itself. Okay, so if I say 70%, okay, it's going to take 70%. Okay, I think I just choose the wrong div or the wrong element, so let me write more. So you can see I'm getting it. Okay, if I just close this, you can see it is working very well. I don't know why I just make it too large, but let me again inspect and let me make this width as inline. Okay, or yes, this is working. Okay, so if I just copy this width as inherit, so it's working. And I also really need button like this. Okay, so where is the value? We'll say create account and it's here. So I will add an inline CSS because I don't think so that it is good idea to make class for this. Let me just copy and paste it. One more thing, it's not really good idea to add inline CSS every time, because that can really make your code a real mess. Okay, so that's not really recommended. One more thing, that this type is going to be button. Okay, it's not going to be submit. So if I reload this, then you can see the style is going. Okay, so that means that this element is targeted with submit element. So let me find it. So this is here and I'm going to copy this thing. This is really good design. I will really appreciate the person who have created this. Really great design. Button. I will reload it and you can see, oh, there are some problem here. What is the problem? If it is a button, it's also going to take the style. Okay, create account and type is button, but let me add a class if it works. So dot button, now it should work. Okay, so oh, sorry. That's my mistake, sorry. Okay, right now it is working. Now what I'm going to do is, why I have created this button, because I don't want to submit a form on this click. Okay, this is the OTP button. It is not a create account button. So send OTP. Okay, this is a button for sending OTP. It is looking great. Okay, I will also add ID for this because I have to implement a logic to send email from this file to OTP sender file. If you don't get it right now, don't worry about it. I will explain you everything. I want ID for send OTP button. I will copy it. I will save it and I will paste it. Okay. Everything is looking same. Now what we are going to do is whenever someone presses on send OTP button, it's going to take this email ID and it's going to submit it to our backend. What is our backend? Our backend is in PHP. So it's going to take it and send it to a new PHP file that we are going to create. Let me create that file. We will create a folder first. The folder name will be OTP server. So it's going to contain all the PHP file that are related to OTP and that is server. Okay. So you can also write folder name as, let me write it PHP server or something like that. Okay. PHP underscore server. And let me create a new file. That file will be called as send OTP mail. Okay. .php. So this file, the name suggests that this file is going to send OTP to the mail. Okay. And that's the task that we are going to do. That's the functionality that we are going to write inside this file.